Zach Carbus, an online fat loss coach here. I hope you're all doing well. In this video, we're going to be covering a fat loss method tier list. I'm going to be going over my opinions, my results, everything that I've learned over the past 4 years, and just covering certain methods that I think are absolute BS, certain methods that are actually good, and you will leave with a ton of clarity going forward in your weight loss journey. Let's get into it. All right, fat loss method tier list. I hope you're all doing well. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this format of video. I've already laid it out. I'm just going to go over it. Here's your tier list. You can look at it and then leave. Cool, now you know. Now I'm going to go into depth talking about why I picked it this way. So we're going to start at F tier and work our way up slowly. So gastric bypass. Why is it F tier? You're basically cutting your stomach in half. When you cut your stomach in half, you don't learn any skills. What happens is you eat food and you throw up. You go to a dinner, you eat food and you're starting to throw up. You have to go to the bathroom. I know so many people that have had this surgery, they regain the weight back. I have hundreds of messages a day and maybe 5 to 10% of them say I've had gastric bypass and I've regained the weight, or I've nearly regained the weight, or I've gained more back. Not good whatsoever. Also, you're cutting an organ. It's really not that good. I would never recommend it. On top of that, you go on a shake diet beforehand. You legitimately have to lose weight to shrink your stomach to then cut it. If you can go on a diet to get a surgery, you should be able to just go on a diet in the first place. I understand the people who struggle and I feel bad for you. Join my program. You're going to lose weight, 100% guaranteed if you stick to it. And I've dealt with binge eating, so I know where you're at, but it's not the good route. Another F tier, vegan. If you do vegan for moral reasons, cool. I love that. Good on you. All the power to you. If you do vegan for health reasons, bro, no. It's just the wrong way to do it. You're missing a lot of micronutrients. You're missing a lot of protein. It's just not good. You're missing out on a lot. I would never recommend anybody ever go vegan unless they're doing it for purely moral reasons. If that's the case, good on you. Now let's go to E tier. We've got Ozempic. Why is it E, not F? You're not cutting your organ open. That's why it's not F. There's not enough research on side effects, so I'm not going to put it in S tier. Is it good for fat loss? Yeah, what it does is it decreases your ghrelin, so the hunger hormone, the thoughts that you get when you're like, I just want to eat. It basically turns that volume from a 10 to a 2. And on top of that, it slows down digestion. When you eat fiber and protein, it just slows that down. So if you have a meal, instead of it digesting in a few hours, it's going to digest in 10 hours. So it's very similar to the gastric bypass in terms of if you have a lot of food, you're probably going to feel like throwing up. You're going to feel nauseous. You're going to feel terrible. However, it's great for weight loss. If people hop on this, I know a lot of men who just get really bad side effects. I would never suggest it unless you're 500 pounds, you need it. But if you can have the healthy habits, eat high protein, eat high fiber, drink a lot of water, etc., and pair that with Ozempic, great. If you go on Ozempic and you eat the exact same foods, it's just less of it. Legitimately, that's just ridiculous. You need to try and eat healthier foods because when you get off Ozempic, you're just going to regain all of the weight back, and we don't want that, do we, Susan? For fat loss, high intensity interval training. Why is it in E tier? I thought that was the best thing ever. No, it increases your fatigue. So what that means is it's hard to recover from. You barely burn more calories compared to steady state. So let's say you do 10 minutes of HIIT, you do circuits, oh my gosh, really hard, right? You might burn 150 calories. Compared to doing normal steady state cardio that's just taxing, but nothing crazy, you might burn 100. So it's 50 more calories and you feel terrible in terms of HIIT after. As in fatigue, you feel fatigued afterwards. It increases ghrelin, it makes you hungrier. So when you do high intensive training, your body actually goes, wow, I'm very hungry compared to low intensity. And lastly, you can't watch a Netflix show. You can't watch YouTube. You can't watch Zach Carbus while doing HIIT. You can watch Zach Carbus while on the treadmill. So do that. Next up, D tier. The 5-2 diet. So basically 2 days of the week, you're on 500 calories or less per day. So it's basically just fasting to the max. Why is it D? Why is it not higher? Why is it not lower? It works for some people. Would I ever suggest it? No, it basically encourages binging tendencies because you restrict and then you can have higher calories on other days. So a lot of people will abuse it. That's why fasting isn't the best thing in the world because people just abuse it. They'll fast for 2 days and then they'll binge 10K calories and it's just like, can we eat normally, dude? So I would never recommend it unless somebody had 2 days of the week where they were extremely busy and they're a certain study and a certain case, maybe. However, 99.9% of people, not going to work for. You're going to feel fatigued on those lower calorie days. You're going to be thinking about food constantly. It's just not going to be fun. C tier. Let's go right to left. Let's go left to right. Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers is good. However, it's not great. You learn a few things about food in terms of, wow, a donut, it's 9 points, and fruit is 0 points. So I want to eat fruit. It's better for me, 100%, but that's also common sense. When you go off Weight Watchers, you're just going to regain the weight back. You're not really learning that much. I still think it's valuable. Is it as good as calorie counting? No. Keto diet. Why is it C tier? You cut carbs, you lose water weight, you can still eat higher fat, and it's bad. You eat high fat, you gain fat, but you lose weight because you're losing water. So you're fatter and you've got less water, meaning your muscles are less filled. Bad. That's the worst thing ever. Your performance in the gym decreases because you've got less carbohydrates, which is your body's fuel source. Your body loves it. It's like premium fuel to a car. It's like gasoline to a flame. Compared to fats, where it's wood to a flame. It's a slow burn. It's not great. It's not going to do a lot. So you're missing carbs. Carbs are great for 99.9% of people. That 0.1%, you might prefer fats in terms of a fuel source. OMAD. I think it's better than the 5-2 diet because it gives you that thing at the end of the day to enjoy. I think it works for a certain type of person who just has an extreme appetite and they don't want to fit it into 2 meals. They just want one big meal. They've got a big work day. They don't want to focus on food. They don't want to focus on certain timing, blah, blah. They just want one meal. Cool. That's good. You're missing a lot of protein throughout the day in terms of it's really hard to fit in all of your micro, macro nutrients into one meal. And then muscle protein synthesis, you have roughly 5 opportunities per day. If you have 1 meal a day, you're missing that. So if you're trying to gain muscle, OMAD, not great. If you're purely just trying to lose fat, which is the method here, which is the theme here, sorry. But it's also, I could eat 10,000 calories in a meal. So, Atkins diet. You basically cut out carbs. It's basically keto, but structured. You cut out carbs, you just eat high fat, and then they slowly taper in carbs as you go on. Not great. I like some of their products. Like, they've high protein, low calorie pizzas. Like, they're some good products. But overall, not great. Fuck. You're going to be tired. You're going to have low carbs. You're not going to be strong in the gym. Overall, miserable. B tier, carnivore diet. Why is carnivore above keto? Because you're not eating as much processed stuff. You can still have processed stuff on keto, whereas carnivore, it's animal product. It's good for you. You're just missing a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit, a lot of micronutrients that you're missing. I would never recommend purely carnivore. Carnivore, other foods, sure, like potato, fruits, veg, etc. That'd be a great diet. What the fuck is that? Paleo. So paleo diet is basically just eating ancestors, what would have eaten. There are a few gaps in terms of, I don't believe they have dairy, so there's a gap there. And that's the most bioavailable protein, like whey protein. Non-essential amino acids, it's in the form of dairy. So I think they're missing out there. Greek yogurt is amazing. Low calorie, high protein, high volume, fills you up. It's overall amazing. It's just for the lactose intolerant people. I used to be lactose intolerant, by the way, but then one day I decided to tolerate it. True story. So it's B tier. It's definitely solid. There's just a few gaps there. And then again, it's pretty restrictive in terms of where's my cake, where's my ice cream, etc. Intermittent fasting is good for a certain amount of people. I think everyone should fast for a little bit throughout the day at least. For me personally, I just fast till 11 a.m. When I'm in a fat loss phase. If I'm bulking, which I don't bulk, I try to maintain my weight in terms of I main gain, so I slowly increase my weight over time. That way, I might eat at 9 a.m., I might eat at 8 a.m., but if I'm on a weight loss journey, if I'm trying to lose some body fat, if I'm in a deficit, I'll wait till 11 so that I can have more food later in the day. Makes it much easier to stick to. So, it's a B tier. I think it's great. I just think a lot of people think fasting is this hack. It just makes it easier to be in a calorie deficit. That is all. That is purely it. Oh, but, freaking cells rejuvenate. Yeah, that happens anyway in a deficit, mate. That already happens. Don't worry about it. It already happens. You don't need to fast. Don't worry about it. Portion control. So, I think it's great because you can be like, okay, I'm going to have this much chicken. I'm going to have this much rice. I'm going to have this much fat. I'm going to have this much starch, whatever. yeah, it's good. I think it's solid. Is it teaching you calories? No, because you could have potato or broccoli. Broccoli is going to be significantly lower calorie compared to sweet potato. You could have potato or sweet potato. Potato is going to be lower calorie than the sweet potato, right? You're not learning a lot about your food. It's just portion sizes, which is good for a certain amount of people. It's good for a certain group of people, but you're not learning everything. So B tier, definitely solid. You might lose a lot of weight, but you're not going to get to that shredded physique purely by that, unless you just under eating like a moron. Excuse my language. I like to add some humor, but anyway, we're gonna go to if it fits in macros. Why do I put it in A tier? I think it's good. People might abuse it. So I've got a client who has purely eaten takeout for the past 2 months. He's down 30 pounds. 30 pounds, 2 months, just takeout. Is it the healthiest thing, just eating takeout? No. We're trying to have high protein options, which is great. Is losing 30 pounds at 350 pounds healthy? Yes. Yes, it is. Healthier than what he was doing prior. So if it fits your macros is great. It's just when it gets abused where it's not. I try to have 80% clean, 20% whatever. If you use if it fits your macros that way, then great. But if you're like, oh, it fits my macros and I'm just having dog poo, like it's good, right? Whole foods diet. You can't really get better than that. The only thing is you're not eating what you want. Like, some people eat whole foods and that's it. But some people, like me, I want sweets sometimes. I want savory sometimes in terms of cake, in terms of chips, in terms of popcorn, in terms of ice cream. Okay? So if that's you, maybe the whole foods diet isn't for you. I'm just not a diet in general. But overall, it's a solid, it's all around good. Not really missing anything because it's all whole foods. Mediterranean, very similar. It's focusing on heart-healthy meals, so fatty fish, oils, nuts, all that stuff, which is great. It's just a bit more calorie dense. They also have lean meats as well instead of saturated fats, which is great. I think it's a solid diet. It's really good. The only thing is, if you're not counting calories, you're not really sure if you're losing weight or gaining weight. It is hard to overeat on vegetables, though. S tier, the best tier. Calories, the best skill that you could ever invest into. You learn, it's like budgeting. It's like you want to learn that skill regardless. When you go to a grocery store, yep, that's 300 calories, yep, that's 500 calories, and you start to learn what's in your food. You start to learn what happens and what's good, what's bad, whatever. Not what's bad, but what's more calorie dense. And that's what you want. You want to know, okay, if I eat this, I'm going to gain 0.1 pounds of fat. And you can just manage as you go. Whereas if people don't have that awareness, it's not good. A lot of people say, oh, counting calories breeds disordered eating. Yeah, no. I completely disagree. It brings awareness and some people abuse it. If you abuse it, that's on the person. It's like saying two people wearing Nike jumpers rob a store. Are you blaming Nike or are you blaming the people who robbed the store? Right? That's kind of the premise of it. Same deal. Builds awareness. You want to know what your macronutrients are if you want to control how your body looks. If you want muscle. Right? Calories determine your weight, macros determine how you look, micronutrients determine how you feel. So if you want to lift strong in the gym, if you want to be a good physique, if you want to have a good body composition like I do with my clients, you want to learn macronutrients. Resistance training for fat loss, it's investing into muscle. As I said before, it's very effective. It's very effective. It's just doing cardio for 10 hours a day. But if you lift, you're basically building these like people, these renters in your house, and they're paying you with calories, right? They're like, oh, I need 10 calories to live for a day. Fat on your body is like, nah, I'm going to live here for free. I'm not burning calories. What's the point of that, right? So with muscle, you want to build it. The more muscle you build, the more calories you burn at rest. Step goal, cheat code. Instead of doing a bunch of cardio and having high impact and just feeling dog all the time, steps, not a lot of impact. Steps, much easier to mentally do. I need to do an hour of Stairmaster. I can't do it. Oh, only 6,000 steps. Easy. Much easier. Also, down the track, when you're in a deficit and you're tired all the time, if you can have a minimum step goal, that's your, like, NEAT, your non-exercise thermogenesis. As you can tell, I'm very tired. If you can't already tell, I'm in a deficit. It's an hour and a half past when I normally go to bed, but I'm recording this content for you guys, so I hope you're enjoying. If you're seeing this video right now, you're a legend. I want you to comment with the Christ emoji and a muscle emoji and say, bro, thank you for posting this video. I'm an OG, as in you're an original viewer. I love you very much. We haven't even hit like 8K yet. we're going to be hitting the mills in a few years, all right? So anyway, step goal. Very good, very effective. When you're in a deficit for an extended period of time, your NEAT drops. You're going to start like drowsing. You're not going to burn as many calories. And if you have a minimum step goal, that basically just keeps it stable. My minimum step goal right now is 15. I get average 20K, 20 to 25. Some people it's lower, some people it's higher. I personally work while I walk. I prefer to eat more food, so I just like to move a little bit more. But yeah, steps are king. If you currently do a certain amount of steps, try and increase it. If you currently do 4, if you do 8, your death risk goes down by like 40%. Absolutely amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment your suggestions on what I should do next. I will do it. I will most likely do it. I might not do it. Okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's crush it. Peace.